Welcome back to it. It's Maths Masterclass with Leo. Today we are doing grade 12 trigonometry, right? So today we are solving problems on grade 12 trigonometry. In the previous video, even though we struggled a bit with quality sound, but yeah, we fixed that. Now we're not gonna struggle with any quality or any quality with related to our work. So now today we are doing problem solving. In the previous video, we did introduction to trigonometry. We did your special angles. We did your reduction formulas. We did your identities, right? So today we are doing problem solving. So we're mixing all those things and putting them into one so that we can see if we can use the techniques that we learned to solve problems, right? So our first problem is 5.1. This is from grade 12, May, June 2023. So 1 minus into, okay, let's remove this bracket because it's not there. Sine of negative theta, right? And then multiply by cos of 90 plus theta, right? All over what? All over cos of theta minus 360 degrees, right? This is what we're given. Given something like this, it means we need to use a reduction. Reduction, we need to use our cast diagram, right? This is my 0 or my 360. This is my 90, 180, and 270. This is my all students take coffee. Also, do not forget that in the fourth quadrant, that's where we find our negative angles. So most learners forget that. In the third quadrant, or actually in the fourth quadrant, that's where you find our negative angles. So with that, I'm also giving you a hint on solving this problem, right? You can actually pause this and try to solve it yourself. But yeah, after that, you can just play the video to see where did you go wrong. Okay, we still have 1 minus, so this will give us a negative what? This will give us a negative sign. Why am I saying it will give us a negative sign? Remember, we're saying sign of a negative angle, which negative angles only exist or are found in the fourth quadrant, where in the fourth quadrant only cos is positive there. So this will be negative of a negative. It will give us positive sign of theta. Multiply by, so cos of 90 plus theta, this is a co-ratio which will give us a negative sign of theta. All over cos of theta minus 360, this gives you what? Cos of theta, right? That gives you a cos of theta. So with that said, now we check. Okay, we have sine multiplied by sine. This will give us 1, but because we have a negative here, it will be negative sine squared of theta all over cos of theta, right? So this is an identity. This is an identity. We did that in grade 11, and this identity is equal to cos squared of theta all over cos of theta. This, the solution, it will be cos of theta, right? Because cos into cos squared goes cos, right? That is our solution. Now let's go to the next problem. It is here. Unfortunately, I can't go to the next page because I still need those questions that are on that picture. This is grade 12, and we are doing May, June 2023 question paper, focusing on what? On trig only today. Okay. Now, with that said, let's do the second question. We're given that cos of 20 degrees is equals to P. Once you see a question like this, immediately just say make a fraction. This is over 1. That tells you this will be my adjacent and that will be my height or my radius, right? Again, if you check this question, it tells you exactly where the situation of your diagram will be. It tells you that we have 20 degrees and 20 degrees lies in the first quadrant, right? So we're going to draw that diagram of ours, something like this. Don't mind my triangle. It's not drawn to scale. Okay, we have 90 degrees there. Then we'll have our 20 there. If you used Euclidean geometry, you'd know that this is also 90. Not 90, but 70. Right? And we said P will be your adjacent. This is my adjacent. We said 1 will be your hypotenuse. This is my hypotenuse. Now, what's missing there? What's missing is opposite, my y value, right? Let's try to calculate the y value. So, we'll say y squared is equals to r squared minus x squared, right? Then y is equals to plus minus square root of r squared minus x squared, right? This gives you what? Plus minus square root of 1 minus 1 squared minus p squared, right? Therefore, the value of y will be positive. Why am I saying that? Because it's in the first quadrant, and in the first quadrant both x and y are positive. Both the vertical and the horizontal values are positive in the first quadrant, right? So I already have the value of y. Now let's go to problem solving. 5.2.1. They want us to identify cos of 200 degrees, right? Using reduction formula. Using reductions, we know that cos of 180 plus 20 degrees will give us what? Will give us cos of 200. If I add this and that, I'm going to get 200. Using the reduction, then therefore I can see that 180 plus 20, I'm going to be moving to the third quadrant, right? I'm going to be moving to the third quadrant, where in the third quadrant only tan is positive. I'm coming this side, right? Only tan in that quadrant is positive, right? So it will tell me that I'm going to have a negative cos of 20, right? That will be negative cos of 20. Then I already know what is cos of 20. Cos of 20 is equal to p. It means this will be negative p, right? That is how I got my solution. That is how I get my solution. Okay, now let's move to the next question. The next question, they want to know what is the sign of negative 70. How will you do that? Negative sign of 70. It's a very interesting question. This is 5.2.2. Sign of negative 70 degrees. How do you deal with that? Sign of negative 70 degrees. So in this case, I know that my negative angles only exist or are only found in which quadrant? The fourth quadrant. And in the fourth quadrant, only cos is positive in that quadrant. So it means this will be negative sign of 70 degrees, right? Since you already know all our angles, so it means this angle is 70 degrees, right? If that angle is 70 degrees, it makes this side the opposite of that angle. Opposite of this angle, so this will be, P will be my opposite, 1 will be my hypotenuse, and square root of 1 minus P squared will be my opposite, right? My adjacent, not opposite. So from SOHCAHTOA, okay, I know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, right? So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So in this case, what is my opposite? Because I'm focusing on this angle, 70 is my reference angle. It means my opposite will be P. P, right? And then my hypotenuse is 1. Hypotenuse will always be the side that is opposite to your right angle, opposite to your 90 degree. Don't forget that. Okay, in most cases they say your hypotenuse is the longest side. I don't know about that. What if the sides are equal? Then you have because these diagrams are not drawn to scale. So I'll always advise you, the side that is opposite to your 90 degree, it is your radius or your hypotenuse, right? And then here I have my minus p as my solution, right? This is the first step that you could have used. Okay, the second step is to say, I still have negative sine of 70, right? So this will be negative into sine. If I say 90 degrees minus 20, I'm going to get 70, right? And then this will be negative into what? Cos of 20, because this is a co-ratio. If I say sine 90 minus 20, it is a co-ratio. It will give me a cos of 20. Then the solution to this question will be negative cos of p. Then what is negative cos of p? We already got it in the previous question. It's negative cos of 20, it's negative p. That is how you can solve that question. Hope that makes sense, right? While you are still watching, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our content with your friends so that we can all succeed together, right? Let's see the next question. The next question is a bit tricky, not difficult, tricky. Needs you to think a little bit, right? You need to think a little bit. So, in this case, we're given, they want to know, this is 5.2.3, they want to know sine of 10. What is sine of 10 degrees? Right? In this question, you need to think a bit. How can I get to sine of 10 degrees? How can I get there? Right? So, I can get there using the compound or double compound identities. So, in this case, I'm going to say cos of 2 into 10. This gives me what? This gives me, okay, this is degrees. Okay, let me just, okay, it's fine. Even, okay, now this will give me 1 minus 2. I want the identity that is related to sine. 1 minus 2 sine squared of 10 degrees, right? Then now, can I solve for sine 10? I want to know what is sine 10, okay? I'll do this. I'll say, transpose this, goes to the other side. This will give me cos of what? 20, right? Minus 1 minus 2 sine squared of 10, right? Then rearrange, I can say this will be minus 2 sine squared of 10 is equals to cos of 20 minus 1, right? Then divide this by negative 2. This and that, they cancel, right? I have sine square of 10 is equals to this negative cos of 20 plus 1 over 2, right? Rearranging again. Okay, before I rearrange, let me do that. Sine of 10 is equals to, then I can rearrange. This is 1 minus cos of 20 over 2, right? I can now substitute. This will be, okay, square root 1 minus, what is this? This is p over 2. That is my solution, right? Hope that makes sense. Now, that is how I was going to do that question if I was in grade 12. Let's move to the next question. Remember, doing question 5, May, June. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the content with your friends. So, 5.3, determine without a use of a calculator, right? So, what are we given? We're told that cos of what? Cos of A plus 55 multiply by cos of A plus 10, right, plus sine of a plus 55, then multiply, this is sine of a plus 10. Okay, I don't have space. Let me try to squeeze it in. Okay, let's try to squeeze it in here. So remember, this is 5.3. It's cos of a plus 55 multiplied by cos of a plus 10, then plus into plus sine of a plus 55, and then multiply sine of a plus 10. That's better. Okay, I can clearly see that this is a compound angle. I can clearly see that that represents a compound angle. Then how do I deal with that compound? How do I deal with compound? Which compound is this? You can clearly see that this is a compound cos, right? This is compound cos. So this will be, let me use a bigger bracket. This will be what? I can see a plus 55. I can also see a plus 10, right? How do I deal with that? So this will be a plus 55, right? And then what is next? Next we will have remember, when you're doing cos the compound angles, this will be minus what? Minus sine, oh no, not minus sine, minus a plus 10, right? Then this will be cos of what? Cos of a plus 55 minus a minus 10. Then this will be cos of 45, right? Then this is a what? This is a special angle. You remember that? It's going to be like that, right? And then believe this is 1 square root of 2, right? And then this is 45, that is 45, and this will give you what? Your solution is 1 over square root 2. That is your solution, right? When you punch that on the calculator, you're supposed to get 1 over square root of 2. That is how you could have done that question. Now let's check the next question. Okay, the next question you are given, this is don't forget that we also help you grade 12 especially with applications, right? If you need to apply for university, we will drop the WhatsApp link, right? So we're given cos of 2x plus sine of 2x minus cos squared of x over sine x minus 2 cos x. They say we must prove that it's equals to negative sine of x, right? We must prove that the two are equal, right? So where do we start? So we can see that the most complicated side is our left hand side. So we always take the most complicated side and try to prove that, right? So the most complicated side in this situation is this one. So I need to have this, okay? But I know this, right? I know what is this. This is cos squared of x, right? Minus sine squared of x plus this one is what? This is 2 sine x multiply cos x minus cos squared of x. Right? All over what? All over sine x minus 2 cos x. Right? So I can clearly see that this one and this one, they will cancel. Right? Then I'll be left with negative sine squared of x. Right? Then plus 2 sine of x multiply cos of x all over what? Sine of x minus 2 cos of x. Right? So here I can see that I have a common factor, which is what? My common factor, it is sine. So I can take out sine of x into, this will be negative. Okay, to avoid that negative, let's take out a negative sign. Negative sign. Then this will be sine of x, right? Minus 2 cos of x over sine x minus 2 cos of x. Therefore, this guy will cancel that guy. Then our solution is negative sine of x, which now we can see that this and that are equal. Therefore, left hand side is equal to your right hand side. This conclusion is very, very important, but don't conclude without simplifying, right? Most learners, they just go to the conclusion and say negative sine x is equal to sine x, therefore left hand side is equal to the right hand side. You're not gonna get a mark for that. Okay, let's check the next question, which is actually determine the value of k. Need to know what is the value. Similar thing, we need to simplify, right? We need to simplify. That is three marks. Okay, let me just try to erase that. As I was saying, we also assist learners with your university applications, right? If you want us to apply for you, but remember, we only apply for one university per student or per learner. Okay, now the next question, you're given cos of 2x is the same, not the same question, different. Okay, cos of 2x plus sine of 2x minus cos squared of x over what? Over negative 3 sine squared of x plus 6 sine x multiply cos x. Okay, that's our question. So now, similarly, we do it similar way with the one that we did just now. So we know this, we also know this. These are identities, right? These are identity, and the nearest identity we can use is a cos squared x minus sine squared x. Why? Because we want to eliminate this cos squared x, right? So cos squared x minus sine squared x, right, plus 2 sine x multiply cos x, right, minus cos squared x over, okay, here we can see that negative 3 sine x is our like term, so we can just take it out, negative 3 sine x. Then we'll be left with sine x minus 2 cos x, right? And then this guy and this guy will cancel each other because the other one is positive, the other one is negative. So this will give us negative sine square of x plus 2 sine x multiply cos x over negative 3 sine x into sine x minus 2 cos x, right? Then lastly, we can take out a common factor there, which is actually negative sine. So negative sine x into sine x minus 2 cos x over negative 3 sine x into sine x minus 2 cos x, right? This and this will cancel, sine and sine will cancel, so negative and negative will cancel. We'll have 1 over 3 as our solution, right? That is our solution. Okay, let's see the next question. Please, if you're still watching, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the content with your friends, right? Because also your comments are very much helpful. If you could tell us where should we improve, what's missing on our content, right? We are happy to get comments from you, right? Okay, so as we are preparing for the June exam, we also prepare together, right? Here is this. What's the next question? 5.5. We're almost done. We're left with at least how many? 2 questions. Okay, now we're given 5.5. 5.5. We're given a 3 tan of 4x is equals to negative 2 cos of 4x. Without using the calculator, show that sine of 4x is equals to negative 0.5 is the only solution to the above equation. Okay, let's see. In this case, what is that we can do? The first thing is to convert this. We know that 3 should be outside, it's fine. This will be sine of 4x over cos of 4x, right? This is equals to negative 2 cos of 4x. Then when I divide by sine of 4x over sine over cos of 4x, actually do the same thing this side, over cos of 4x. So this and that will cancel, right? I have 3 is equals to negative 2, right? Then if I change this, it will be cos of 4x multiplied by cos of what? Of 4x. Okay, let's do that. Not jump stages. This is like divide by sine of 4x over cos of 4x, right? This is 3 is equals to negative 2 cos of 4x multiplied by cos of 4x over sine of 4x, right? Then rearranging this, it will give me 3 sine of 4x, right? This is equals to negative 8 cos squared of what? 4x. That is how I'm gonna get it. Okay, this is not 8, but it's 2. Sorry about that. This is 2. Right? Then now, how do I solve this? How do I now solve this? What is the next step? You can convert this, right? You know what is this? This will be 3 sine of 4x is equals to negative 2 into what? 1 minus sine 4x, right? Which is sine squared of 4x. Then this will be 3 sine of 4x is equals to negative 2 plus plus 2 sine squared of 4x. Now, everything to the other side, you'll have 2 sine of 4x. Okay, 2 sine of 4x. Let's go to 4x, right? Plus minus 3 sine of 4x. Okay, because we took this to the other side, this will be minus 2 is equals to 0. Now let's see, can we factorize this? I think we can. Let's see, this will be sine 2 sine of 4x. Again, this will be sine of 4x, right? And then the other one will be plus 2. Is it plus 2? That one will be minus 1. Let's see if I multiply this and that. Okay, actually this one is this side. Yeah, we have 1 here. Come on, we have 1 here, then we have 2 there. Yes, that's it. And then 2 sine of 4x is equals to negative 1, or sine of 4x is equals to 2, right? Then if I divide by 2, then sine of 4x is equals to negative 1 over 2. Then this, let's see our calculator. Okay, sine inverse of 2. Math error. So this, no solution for this one. No solution. Right? Then let's see again our calculator. What is sine inverse of, okay, sine inverse of negative 1 over 2. Okay, 0.5. We have 30, right? It means there's a solution for that. So definitely they were right to say only sine 4x. Sine 4x is the only solution that we have for this question, right? So it is true. This is the only solution because this other one, there's no solution for that. Okay, let's try to tackle the last question. Okay, I also do tutorials if you want, one-on-one tutorials if you want, group tutorials. Like when I say group, I'm talking about at least 3 students in a group, right? I'm gonna post a link. I'm gonna post a picture of our tutorials. It will be the last thing on today's video. So if you are struggling with maths, why struggle? Why we can help? Okay. So in the last question, what are they looking for? What are they looking for? Hence, determine the general solution of x in the equation. So we already know that our solutions, if we can simplify that, we'll definitely get to this point. Sine 4x is equals to negative 1 over 2, right? And the other one is no solution. We're gonna get to this as well. But for this one, we don't have a solution, no solution. It tells us math error. Now we're left with this, right? So from here, we know that sine inverse, okay, we have 4x is equals to sine inverse of negative 0.5 or 1 over negative 1 over 2. This will give us what? This will give us a 30, right? This will give us a 30. So we'll say, okay, from the 30, we can clearly see that this is negative, right? So where will our solution lie? Where will our solution lie? The first solution will be, if I draw my cast diagram, I'm looking for a negative sign. A negative sign is in this quadrant and this quadrant, right? Third quadrant and fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, right? that is where I'll find my solutions, in the third quadrant and in the fourth quadrant. So in the third quadrant, how will it look like? In the third quadrant, remember, I have, this will be 4x is equals to 180 plus 30, right? Plus what? 360 multiplied by k, where k is the element of all integers, right? This is in the third quadrant. Don't forget. And then I'm going to say divide by 4x, divide by 4, divide by 4. Then what do I get? This will be my x is equals to, so it's 180 plus, this is 210. What is 210 divided by 4? I'm not sure about that. Let's see, 210 divide 4. I'm getting 52.5. And then what is 360 divided by 4? I'm getting 90. So this will be 52.5 plus 90 multiplied by k, right? That is my first solution. And then my second solution, remember that my sign is negative in the third quadrant and in the fourth quadrant. So my second solution will be in the fourth quadrant, right? Quadrant number 4. Quadrant 4, I still have 4x is equals to, this is 360 minus what? Minus 30, right? So add it with what? Add it with 360, right? Multiply by k, where k is the element of all integers. So this will give us the solution. This is x is equals to, so in this case, 360, let's see. Okay, so I have, this will be 330 divided by 4, which will give me 82.5. So my solution is 82. No, yeah, 82 actually. 82.5 plus 360, oh, not 360, but 90 multiplied by k. That is it from us today. And this was 2023 November, or May, June, not November. Sorry about that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the content with your friends. See you in the next video. Tango!